Ngiyafisa ukushatelwa wezinsizwa kodwa ngeke kwenzeke ngihlezi phansi nami ngiyafisa ukushatelwa wezinsizwa kodwa ngeke kwenzeke ngihlezi phansi ningangisoli uma ngihambe ekhaya ngiyosebenza Ngikhula ngithatha umfazi ngibe indoda ngikhulisa umuzi Enihlezi ngimtshela ukuthi Bangikhula ngibe indoda ngithatha umfazi ngikhulisa umuzi We mama ngicela ubaba ngihambile ngiyosebenza eGoli We mama ngicela ubaba ngihambile ngiyosebenza eGoli angifuni imali
Thanks, my brother. Thank you so much for that. Awesome one. Sibonge kakhulu. Ayike, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Welcome to the Wednesday installment of iDaily Thetha. Sinibingelela sinamukele nonke njengenjwayelo kuyintokozo enkulu ukuhlanganyelana nani as we continue to build the nation one conversation at a time. Igama lami ke ngumxolisi wakomasango Silo Sengakana, sign language interpreter wethu wanamhlanje. So, today in Bukelo Daily Thetha we're celebrating a game changer. Umsakazi wezomphakathi phecelezi SABC has decided to make it into the digital space now by further advancing a mandate yomsakazi womphakathi to ensure ukuthi wena umbukeli never miss out on a beat on some of your most favorite programs ongahle wakhonze futhi wathande kuma platforms. SABC Plus kuyiyona ke platform that will ensure that we not only take you on a journey of the past but we also look at the present and also look ahead to the future. What do you have to say? What is it that you like about SABC Plus? Namhlanje, these are some of the conversations us now namhlanje ohlelweni as we explore SABC Plus since it was launched last month. Abantu abaningi bayasho ukuthi bayayithanda and kuyi-platform ebasiwe ngempela. What is it that you like about SABC Plus? What are your favorite programs on SABC Plus? Xhumana nathi enkundleni zethu zokuxhumana sikhona ku-Facebook, Instagram kanye naku-Twitter. Ningasishayela ke futhi ucingo ku-011 993 1315. Let us know which are some of those programs that give you a sense of nostalgia, but sometimes also make you think about where South Africa is at. This also boasts 19 radio stations wala ekhaya SABC, but also you can also catch up with sports and news. Ngibalani na kanye nokunye futhi okuningi. Senjalo ke sinibuzile ukuthi what do you guys make of streaming channels and what you also like about this particular venture ye SABC through SABC Plus. Let's roll some of your comments. Right, to Anele Analisi Hange, Uti Facebook, launching the app is a good move, but its successes will depend on the content uploaded and how the content differs from what we already have. I don't want something that I have seen before. They should think differently on this one. And of course, Sinazogane Kuluzetu Namhlanje, who are going to be answering all those questions with Anele. I think you should just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Siyasanga Mbai Uti and Facebook, I prefer streaming shows that teach me more about financial, mental health, and self-improvement as an upcoming entrepreneur. Both TV and streaming networks work for me. Hashtag Daily Thetha. But also, what we also like about the SABC Plus is as much as we're getting entertained, there's also some education there, and also just a sense of sports as well. So everything for wonke umuntu emndenini kubaluleke kakhulu. Kusenjalo we never have these conversations sisodwa la ohlelweni, kungakho kuhlezi kuyintokozo enkulu kuhlanganyelana ne-studio audience sethu. Guys, welcome to the show. It's great to have you. Okay, siswami ngiyazi ukuthi wena uthena ekseni awufuna ukuphuthelwa. That's why you immediately downloaded the SABC Plus. How are you finding it so far?
Sanibonani makhaya, brilliant lo khulumayo. So far, so good. I love what it's doing. SABC Plus, it's not as the SABC on TV. It's not like sitting down and watching it on TV as it's happening. You can watch it anywhere, anytime, at your own time.
Yeah.
So you don't have to miss out on anything that you love, whether it's sports, news, or cartoons. For those who have children.
Yeah, because as well I'm viewing trends ethu ayashintsha esikhathini esiningi. Eke size ngapha ke sinike usisi microphone ke sizwe kuyena ukuthi ngabe yena uthini ke nge-SABC Plus. Wena siswami amahlelo mhlawumbe owathandayo futhi owakhonze kakhulu ku-SABC Plus imaphi?
Sanibonani, igama lami ngisino kaZuma. I-SABC Plus mina ishow engithandayo, uhlelo engithanda kakhulu. Ngizoqala ngibonge nje ukuthi sibona ama-drama sewadlula esiwathandayo njengeyizo mina bengithanda kakhulu yizo and namanje ngibonile khona, so ngithanda kakhulu.
All right.
Yes.
And of course, you're speaking about the educational element of it, but also the entertainment element of it all. So SABC Plus has got you covered, Mbugeli with Daily Thetha. We're going to be exploring in Kulumo around SABC Plus. SABC Plus, Yishuktini, first of all, for when a consumer and also what it means for viewing trends as well. This is going to be very exciting to have conversations in Namhlanje. But first, here's a snippet of what you can expect from SABC Plus.
It's important that we reimagine the public service broadcasting in the new digital era. So we're really placing a whole lot of emphasis in redefining the public broadcasting within an environment that is characterized by multi-platforms as well as multi-channels. I do think that what we really did in our strategic positioning as the SABC, we said that we want to be a multi-platform, multi-device content provider. And launching this SABC Plus streaming app confirms our commitment to ensuring that we do that. Broadcasting in the digital age requires that we broaden both the quality and the scope of our content offering, intensify accessibility, and as well as to offer our audiences value for their time and their money. We do believe that this strategic move will further strengthen the existence of the SABC beyond the 86 years. And I think at the heart of it is to ensure that it becomes a financially sustainable, digitized broadcaster that is committed to its public mandate.
Nazo, 86 years in the game, but now we're continuing with innovation. Kanye nezinto ezinhle kakhulu. Loyo beku group CEO we SABC uba uMadoda Mqagwe, just breaking down ukuthi isho ukuthini lento manje ye SABC Plus njengoba we moving in with the times. Njengoba sowazi ke manje ukuthi this is a multi-device service that will make sure ukuthi you never miss out on your favorite programs ozithanda kakhulu sala SABC. So ukunaba kabanzi ngalo daba esikhuluma ngalo namhlanje le SABC Plus Vakashi zethu namhlanje ubaba David Makubiane, who's the head of SABC Video Entertainment Platforms, kanye nobuti uLungile Benza, who's the SABC Group Executive for Technology, kanti ke futhi usisi uGuguntuli, who is the SABC Group Executive for Corporate Affairs and Marketing, joins us on Zoom and sabe sikhuluma naye futhi. Welcome to the program, and it's great to have you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mkolis.
Yeah. So, David, now we're moving in with the times. It's exciting times for umsakazi womphakathi SABC. Akositshele kabanzi nge-SABC Plus nokuthi isho ukuthini for abantu abazobe bayi-consumer.
Yabonga, Alex. So, SABC Plus, ile ka gore it's South Africa, e ka kakaretso. Batho ba o kry-ang le gore nako e fetileng o kry-a le gore ha o tseba SABC mostly ke batho ba goreng ha o bolela ka living standard o kry-e le gore ba kgone gore ba lebelele DSTV or ba lebelele dilo tse santseng di patelwe. Jwale SABC Plus e dirang gore batho bao le bone gore ba kgone gore le bone ba lebelele dilo tse di bitswang di OTT apps. So in other words, the application online. So it just takes our viewers as well to a place where the rest of the world is going, where you can access the best of your local content and international content for free on your mobile device, on a digital platform. That's where the world is going. So that's what SABC Plus, it's a new platform for us to be able to showcase our content, but also assist us in delivering our mandate of educational content, of informing, we've got news, and entertaining our audiences. So it's an extension of what we are as the SABC, just ensuring that now we can talk to youth. Viewing consumptions have changed. We know young people and people who are techno-savvy, on the fly. Content. So SABC Plus is that platform.
Budlungile sesimzwile uDavid ekhuluma la mina ngifuna ukwazi kuwena ukuthi kahle kahle SABC Plus from a technological perspective njoba siyazi nokuthi abantu abasha vele balaba sevi bathanda izinto ezenzeka masinyane, you know, what does this mean for SABC from a technology side?
It takes us to where everybody is. We're trying to recover onke lama audiences wethu that we've lost to the digital devices, because viewing now is no longer about a date with your television set where you come and sit down and say, I will be watching program A, B, C, and D. You want to be watching your program anywhere, everywhere, and anytime. And that's what SABC Plus, you know, gives. And one of the things I always say whenever this is we my interview is that it's like your one-stop shop.
Yeah.
You're looking for something from the SABC, and the SABC Plus should be able to give you that. One of the things that are coming from a technological perspective on SABC Plus is actually you paying your own, you know, TV license in there. And it's like, you know, you don't have to be, you know, walking up and down trying to, you know, pay, but rather you just go onto the platform. The platform just allows you to do that, and voila. There you go, it's 22 rands per month. It's easy, catch up. Yeah. You get into the platform and then you realize, oh shucks, I missed a program last night. Can I quickly catch it up? You catch it up, it's there, it's available for you. I mean, from a technological perspective, it takes us onto that digital era, because we've been talking about this for quite a while. And if everybody sees me whenever I'm presenting the digital strategies, I always talk about this has been coming since 2012. And today, I mean, we're realizing that we are so excited.
It finally happened, injalo. And of course, siyalthanda ke nezuleni khona lapho estradini ukuzwa ukuthi nina ngabe nithini about this new and exciting venture yomsakazi womphakathi SABC. Gcina's always on the pulse of it. Let's take a look.
What's the level? What's the life? It's your boy, the leader of the pack. SABC has joined the phenomenal streaming services. With SABC Plus, you can get your international plus your local content. But then the question is, ingabe local talent yona izobenefita kanjani? I mean, it will have more than 19 radio stations. Let's get into the streets and find out about Nyankangandon. SABC in content enough to compete with other streaming services?
I think they have enough content, but the content that they have isn't competitive enough because it's repetitive. Most of the things that they do are reruns and stuff like that. And most of them are soapy, so the content is a lot, but it's the same story, whereas with other streaming services, they have a lot of content, different stories, good and bad, whereas here it's the same thing, just done a lot.
Well, according to that question, I really don't think so, because they keep on repeating same stories. If you check from SABC 1 to 3, it's always the same storyline, but different ways of, showing them.
Honestly, no. Looking at what we have nowadays, like Netflix, I don't think so. They need to push and put more content on SABC.
I think they have more than enough content, but it's just very repetitive. Storylines are the same. So I feel like if they gave the youth, especially upcoming graduates, writers, an opportunity to come with proposals with new shows, I feel like that would make it more interesting and more people would also know about it.
All right. Interesting views lapho nama insights. Sibonge kakhulu ngokuthi of course nis embrace Daily Thetha masifuna impendulo on some of the things that we speak about khona la ohlelweni. David, ngizoyibuyisela kuwe ke lento. Abantu bakhulumile ke stradini bathi sometimes they feel like izinto ziba repetitive. How are we going to overcome this obstacle, or perhaps isithole a common ground around it?
So, I mean, one of the things that we are well aware of is that we've had long-running programs. It might not necessarily be a repeat. I mean, I think SABC, as our channels, must probably run the freshest content if you have to compare us with our competitors in terms of repeats. However, what I do take is that we've got the same programs that have been running for a long time. There is a strategy in place where we are going to look at changing because of our audiences changing and them wanting to see more of fresh content. Very soon you're going to see that we're going to introduce new content. There'll be new dramas coming on and so on. That is on linear. However, remember the reason why we launched this digital platform is instead of being limited to only 3 channels, we now have a whole platform where we can have a lot of content. So if anyone has downloaded the app, you'll see that now there's a whole lot of content that you don't have on SABC 1, 2, and 3 that is sitting on the platform. And some of it is new. Some of the Fathers Matter series, the Sugars, and so on. It's not content that is sitting on the SABC 1, 2, and 3. So what digital allows is for us to actually have more content. So there are greater opportunities for us to have much more content and fresher content instead of us having to fill schedules, within prime time only and with limited time. And some of the times we have a certain number of programs within a schedule because of our ICASA regulations. We have to have certain number of dramas. We have a certain number of repeats because of the balance in the, the budgets and so on. However, when we get onto the OTT platform, now we can now start answering those questions because now we've got a plethora. One of the things that we want to do, just answering one of the points that were raised in the Vox Pops, is we are going to have short form content. So young people who want to bring in whatever content that they want to bring in short form, we're going to have space on the platform for that sort of content. So there's also greater space for experiment. Because now we were very tight in terms of the quality and the type of content. Obviously, we're still going to look at a technical quality of some standard, but we're going to now allow for certain experimental content and we'll create a space on the digital platform for that.
Interesting, and I think we're also going to touch on that, David, when we come back, because we need to take a quick break. Mbugele Sisenayege Ukuku, who's also on Zoom for us, and we'll be touching base with her, Masbuya Eitolo. Of course, we celebrate SABC Plus namhlanje, sibuka umsakazo womphakathi and the strides that it has made thus far. Join us when we come back from a break in isiqhubekela phambili ngale nkulumo.
Thetha is a producer, is a presenter, is a... I think I should package it as a filmmaker as a whole. Yes, the idea that, we just have a lot of people that are streaming online, it does give me hope that we're going to have a lot of content going online. And I see that SABC as well is trying out that space, SABC Plus. And guys, it's actually working out in that sense because people I think the younger generation, my target audience is mostly from 18 to 35, between that, the young adults, and actually, let me say 13 to 25, even the teenagers and stuff. They are almost here on the click on their phone, you know. So every time, you know, I hear that question, I'm just like, it's a yes for me, it's a tick for me, because a lot of people like are just on their phones, literally. Even like TV has, I don't know, it's dying a little, yeah. So yeah, it does give me hope that there's going to be a lot of streamers in the future. The future of entertainment, guys, does lie in the streaming services. I just want to note that down. Although I feel like this also, the space of having a television, it gives a family feel, and maybe we do need to actually, like, maybe people that are actually like trying to put their things on TV need to actually start communicating that advertising gesture and stuff. So I feel like it does give a family feel. We are able to all sit down as a family, eat together and watch whatever we're watching. But if you have like a phone, you're always isolated, you know, you're always in your gaming space. It introduced that gaming space again. So you don't have that freedom of actually being like, let's just have like a conversation on it even afterwards. Kuti, why did like Queen Morocco do this, or why did Lesego, whatever the case is, why did this happen? So basically I feel like, yes, it's important for this to happen, but streaming services are being introduced more, because I think we're more selfish people, guys. We're more selfish than ever right now.
Nazo ukuthi setsoma okay loyo who's a young filmmaker sixoxela kabanzi nge-SABC Plus nokuthi how it advances the youth mandate and the youth agenda kusenjalo nje into engichazayo uyasho ukuthi hayi man bonakala ngathi amathuba for ulusha azoba khona amathuba azovuleka for the young people in particular, and of course isiqhubekela phambili ngenkulumo yethu baleke kakhulu as we celebrate namhlanje i-milestone ye-SABC ekuyi-SABC Plus, which is now a streaming platform. Siphinde sinibingele sinamukele kwinto and of course we still have Uses Guguntuli, who is the of course group executive for corporate affairs and marketing at SABC, who's joining us on Zoom. Gugu, I want us to talk about the reception of SABC Plus since its launch last month. From the marketing side, irisiveke kanjani thus far, and what are the reviews?
Ngiyabingelela nonke, and I'm very grateful to be here with you this morning. As SABC, we're exceptionally proud of the performance of this app in its first 2-3 weeks in the market. Already we've had about 720,000 downloads through the Hisense platform, the Hisense television platforms, and over 40,000 apps via mobile downloaded. So that is a very exciting start for us, taking into account the size of this market and the revenue that one can generate with the numbers. It's very exciting to see that there's uptake from the market and that our consumers really are appreciating what the SABC has done.
Yeah, masibona nama trends ayashintsha manje, and that's undoubtedly ukuthi everything is moving towards the digital space esikhathini samanje. How are we planning as the SABC to measure up to all these trends?
Well, I think the first thing about this app is that really we are creating value for our audiences. It's a value creation platform where we are really now extending content that they already are familiar with and they love, and putting it on a platform where they can access it anytime, as David and Lungi have alluded earlier. So very importantly is that we are creating value. Yeah. How do we measure up in terms of competition? Each streaming platform is very fragmented, and they have a specific target audience that they are focusing on. We believe that as the SABC Plus is extremely unique. Why? We have content that is multilingual, broadcasting in the 11 official languages of South Africa. We also have unique archive content that does not exist anywhere else other than the SABC, you know. And so as David was talking about content and what we have on offer, we have a lot of content that can be packaged, that can be accessed at no cost. Very important, unique selling point is that SABC Plus is free. You can access that content and it will be unique to the SABC. You will not be able to find it anywhere else. And over a period of time, we are adding new content. We know that content is the big selling point, but we also know that people have had time limitations, have had access limitations. For example, you may be wanting to rush home to watch your favorite Uzalo, but you miss it. Now you have a catch-up application. You have an opportunity to watch it at leisure, at your own time. And those are the value and the benefits that we are bringing through SABC Plus, which we believe are absolutely going to put us ahead of the pack and assist our current audiences to be retained within our platforms, but also to attract those that we have already lost in the past because of a lack of a digital platform.
All right, and Exenjalo kusesifaka noTebogo kaMthemkhulu, who is a TV producer and executive producer eklenkulumo le esinayo namhlanje. Sikubingelele sikwamukele Tebogo. Yazi ukuthi David earlier spoke about how this is going to, provide further opportunities for abakhiqizi bamahlelo. I want to know from you, perhaps just talk to us about some of our challenges osuke wahlangabezana nawo as a producer.
Sanibonani emakhaya. Mina, I've been producing for a few years, and as a young female executive producer, it's been very difficult, especially to get my content on SABC. And firstly, I'd like to congratulate SABC. Congratulations, and it's good to see that you're finally going digital. So, Mina, my challenges is the process here SABC submitting. We do submit proposals. It takes long to get a response. Sometimes we don't get a response. So I'm hoping that with SABC Plus, this will be different for us producers. Yes.
All right, hopefully mhlambe ukuthi kuzoba ngcono ngoba nazi ikhulu phela sihlezi nathi namhlanje zizokwazi ukuthi zikuphendule. Na umbukeli lapha ekhaya uxhumane nathi phela enkundleni zethu zokuxhumana, mphinde futhi nisifonele ku 011 339 1315 ngoba siphethe ikhulu zethu la SABC namhlanje to talk about this new and exciting venture. But Lungile, ngifuna ukuza kuwena njengamanje. Issue ye accessibility is still a very serious challenge for Tina Mzansi. For me, I always think of the marginalized. What happens to Ugogo Echini? What happens to Malum, in Ekobo, deep rural KZN, as far as accessibility is concerned? As internet right? Is the SABC planning on reaching out to such communities?
Yes, definitely. Because remember, SABC Plus is for them. And if we don't, create an environment for them to access the platform, abazubana SABC Plus. Just to start with what Usis Gugu was talking to, this is a first, not just only in South Africa, but in Africa. Nobody has got a platform where you've got radio and television next to each other. You actually are close to breaking the network of the country. And when we're about to launch this, we ask so many questions. Guys, are you sure? Can this work? Can this not, not work? So when it comes to issue accessibility in the network infrastructure, one, there's a problem with data in South Africa. Everybody knows data prices are very high. And then secondly, you find that other areas are still unserviced when it comes to a network. So for instance, you'll be sitting somewhere in the rural, Engutu, for instance, and then ugogo konata ufuna access something, and then a network is unavailable. Or there's a small little tower that sits not very far from it's load shedding, or it's been vandalized, or something like that. So from an SABC perspective, we're trying very hard to work with the government, with the department, to zero rate data that abantu are using when using SABC Plus. So which means when you are using SABC Plus, you shouldn't actually be charged for the data. So we're still working close with everybody on that. Then secondly, obviously, there is this program, this infrastructure program, that is trying to ensure that every little area in South Africa is covered by the network. And that would also now come in very handy, because when people abayifuna usebenzisa i-app can't use it, then we will be, having a problem, Tina, as the, people with the strategy to actually grow this network. Because even if people, they download it, if they are unable to use it in their own areas, it becomes harder. So also we are working very closely with all the, infrastructure teams together with government, especially on zero rating of the data, because the data prices are very expensive in South Africa.
Yeah, and kuzoba a joint effort between all the stakeholders, lending a hand in ensuring ukuthi we overcome that hurdle. Mbukeli we-Daily Thetha, hlala nathi masibuya siqhubekela phambili ngenkulumo yethu.
If SABC ngathi kunike 80% local content on the streaming services, ngabe wena ungasubscribe yini?
I would subscribe. And also, I think it is important for us youth to look into that platform because SABC is like the OG content. Now the SABC Plus is looking for the new school content. So I think it is important that, honestly, I would subscribe.
Yeah, local is lekker, you know what I mean? I want to see more of what we have to bring to the table as the youth, as our South African youth, just bringing our own ideas, what we've been through and what other people will go through, showing them on screen. It will be incredible. I would watch it.
I see the same type of content, so I don't feel like I should, or nothing's inspiring me to watch it. So based on what they have on TV, I wouldn't subscribe to an online streaming service that they have.
So, ngokubona kwakho namacabanga South African film and television ingabe i-ready for these streaming services?
I feel like they are ready, right? But it's just a matter of getting the right people, new writers, fresh talent, new faces. When you look at SABC 1, SABC 2, it's same faces all the time, same stories, as I said. So if we have new faces, fresh talent, that would also make people want to be like, okay, I want to watch this because it's actually something new, something different.
I don't think they're ready right now. As it stands, they're not ready.
Yeah. All right, that's your word, Ge Estratini lapho masekubuza ukuthi do you think umsakazi womphakathi iSABC usuzimisele and already to measure up njengoba si-celebrate namhlanje of course i-launch ye-SABC Plus ekuyi-app phela uzokhona nawe ukuthi uthole zonke inhlelo zakho just on the go. Fascinating times, and we still have our guests khona la studio. David, I'm going to give you the opportunity ukuthi uphendule uTebogo because uTebogo raise a very important point yokuthi bangama producers esikhathini esiningi bahlangabezana ne-red tape eningi when it comes to making sure ukuthi content yabo is put on the SABC platforms.
Yeah. So, that is something that's very, very close to us and something that we've been working on to resolve because we know very well it's a serious problem for producers. So we've launched an e-portal. So we're really going digital. So there's an e-portal. Utebogo can submit online and then you can actually monitor the progress of his submission on the e-portal. And the idea really is so that we can fast track submissions. Producers can always know where the submissions are. And we've also set ourselves through the e-portal process that within 21 days we would have completed a cycle of the submission. So this is a new thing that we've also just launched. So there are multiple things that are happening to try and really, really increase on the services that our clients require. So that really is the response to Tebogo, is that go onto the website, and submit your proposals via an e-portal. And as I said, I like what one of the young people said there in terms of fresh content. The only people who are going to bring fresh content, a lot of the content that you see on the SABC is content that is produced, like Tebogo, by external independent producers. So people who've got concepts, who've got ideas, who want fresh ideas, you are the ones that need to bring it. Remember, SABC is the public broadcaster. It's your broadcaster. We just public servants there. Yeah. You are the guys that are supposed to run it and bring the content that you want to see.
Yeah. And Tebogo sengibuyela kuwena, there are always conversations around how we need to have a story or content that mirrors the South African experience, but not just only South African stories, but authentic South African stories guma platforms ethu. Do you think umsakazi womphakathi is already at a point where they're able to deliver on that mandate as a producer?
Yes, I would say right now, especially with SABC, I mean, abo gogo bethu have been watching SABC, abo mama bethu, and as the youth, we watch abo uzalo and so forth. But now, like the youth has spoken, we need fresh content. We need new producers. I mean, SABC has long-running programs with producers that have been doing it for many years, which is fine. We learned from them. We were mentored by them. But at the same time, how are you going to open up that opportunity? Because it's a different story. We're sitting here right now, but as producers, like I have a team of mainly females. I'm a woman producer. It's a male-dominant industry. Yes. How are you going to open up this opportunity for us?
Balancing the scales, David. Yes, perhaps respond.
Yeah, I mean, very important. So we're going to try, we're not trying, we're going to go into regional. That's the first thing. We've already done roadshows. Our group executive and the team have done roadshows. We've gone around the country to look at the different resources. Because SABC is also not for Joburg. You know, there's this misconception that you have to be in Joburg to have your content on. So you will see that we're going to start getting content from the different parts so that we can represent our country fairly. And everyone can see themselves. We can have different languages so that whether or whatever, you can get your languages represented. That's one of the things that we do. EE is very important, so equity and the representation has always been important. So that's how we will then also select content and make sure that, you know, if you are a female, you are previously disadvantaged, or you are a black female producer, and you come with a great concept, we need to really, you know, consider you first as well. Because part of what we are supposed to do is also transform the industry. There's no other better broadcaster in this country that has to deliver on developing the industry. That's part of our mandate, it's part of our job, but also we feel obligated that we need to do that. Because obviously if another broadcaster is independent, they are chasing bottom line. With us, you know, we are there to ensure that we can grow the industry. And so we have put in place, you know, structures. We already started working on how do we make sure that we can expand in the representation of our people as a South Africa as a whole, so that everyone can feel represented. Now, doing it on 3 channels and having 11 official languages was hard. Now, when we have a digital platform, we're going to launch channels as well. So don't just think programs. On the 1st of December.
And of course, Dave, can I just ask you that you hold it there for me? We'll continue with your point to Masbuya Ekefini as well. Melesio Badala, of course. And David is speaking about, you know, broadcasting for total citizen empowerment. Joba part of the mandate, the SABC's Kubegela Pambili Ngalenkulumo around SABC Plus and how it benefits you as the consumer. Helanati Siabun. All right, siphinde sinibingelela sinamukele nisahlezi dathi khona la ku Daily Thetha namhlanje as we celebrate the SABC's milestone njengoba balonje iSABC Plus. Sesifike emaphethelweni ke wenkulumo yethu David and busayenza ipoint yakho ngaphambi kokuthi siye itolo busakhuluma ngokubaleka kweSABC kanye naye SABC Plus.
Ngiyabonga MX. Bengisasho ukuthi we've got more channels. A lot of I keep hearing that SABC 1, 2, 3. We've got streaming. But remember that also there's space for more channels. SABC Sport, there's a dedicated sport channel on the platform. We've got a dedicated education channel and educational content. So you can have curriculum content that you can watch. Children can actually watch. That's the beauty of digital. On the 1st, we launched SABC and Festive, which is a pure festive channel with 60% of the content all fresh. It's never been seen before.
So it's a pop-up?
And it's a pop-up channel. You know, there will be another pop-up channel that's going to cover the ANC conference now in December. I'm sure it's going to be very exciting. So it's, you know, what I'm saying is that there are opportunities for way more. Don't think of what we have only now. Radio stations. One of the things that I've been using the app for, in most cases, is I love the news, I love radio. So I'm listening to radio stations all the time. When you wanted to download radio, you would have to go to different apps. You've got all the radio stations right next to each other. Nice. If you want to move from Radio 2000 to Metro FM or, to Thobela, you do it within a fly.
Nice.
And just finally, registration is simple. You put in your phone number, you put in a password, that's it. I know a lot of people are thinking, we're going to ask for your license, whether you've paid up your TV license. No. You just put in your own details, that's it. Within 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, you're up and running.
All right, Marambugeli, you must still pay your TV license. Yes. Just a quick parting shot with us right now. It seems like we moved seamlessly towards DTT. Manje sesingena kulo hlobo le SABC Plus. What do you say to us now as we wrap the conversation?
Just like David said, those naysayers about content, there's lots of very new, fresh content. And Nakona, remember that this is really a value creation where you can individualize your experience according to your own taste. So I encourage everyone to download it. It is for free.
All right. Lungile, just a quick one.
Just a quick one. I mean, on what David was talking about earlier, there's 7 channels already there. People know about SABC 1, 2, and 3, but there's sport, there's news, and then there's entertainment. Now there's there's education, and then there's entertainment now. But we've created the application so that it can have 8 pop-up channels for television. So David is already talking about the ANC conference that's coming up. It will be a pop-up channel. We can also have another pop-up channel for news. Indigenous news, right. For instance, people can't, be waiting for 2 days to listen to Ndebele news, for instance. Okay, yeah. That will be available as well as soon as possible. On the radio stations front, there's about 5 pop-up radio stations on top of the radio stations that are there. That is 19. So people can also, start, going into the platform, downloading it, and enjoying it. It's there.
Sibonge kakhulu to ivakashi zethu namhlanje. Of course, that was SABC Plus, SABC speaking to us about this new venture. Sibonge kakhulu ukuthi nibe nathi namhlanje. There's a performance that we're playing you out with namhlanje. See Daily Thetha, we thank you so much for joining us namhlanje. Nsale kahle, take it away.
See. Sanibonani. See.
Otusu, oenzisa, anakubona sulana fana sekaya. Oyasu, eyami inhliziyo, ngiyakuthanda. Otusu, oenzisa, anakubona sulana fana sekaya. Oyasu, eyami inhliziyo.
Oh my Lord, we can do this. Oh my Lord, asa. Oh my Lord, asa. Oh my Lord.